Because your body is just getting old. It's because a silent enemy called neurological disconnect is literally shutting down your deep muscle fibers, a problem ancient Shaolin monks figured out how to fix centuries ago. While most guys over 50 grind away with heavy repetitive reps, that constant joint friction actually sabotages your strength and accelerates joint breakdown. In this video, I'll show you the exact 5 Shaolin isometric holds to rebuild insane, pain-free power. But first, we need to fix your foundational structural tension, because without it, nothing else works. Let's dive into the first hold and rewire that broken software. The hollow body hold. It's not about grinding out endless crunches for a useless six-pack. It's about forging a deep, structural corset around your entire midsection. Hovering your straight legs and arms while pinning your lower back creates 360-degree armor. It's not about looking good at the beach. It's about protecting your spine so you can move safely and powerfully in the real world. Here's what most guys miss when training their core after 50. They bend, flex, and twist. You're literally grinding their lumbar discs down to dust. It's not your fault if your back aches doing standard sit-ups. It's not weakness. It's core disconnect. Your deep transverse abdominis is essentially asleep, leaving your spine completely exposed to injury. But here's the secret to waking it up safely. Lie face up on the floor, the absolute non-negotiable step. Press your lower back so firmly into the mat, you could crush a coin underneath it. Now, tightly squeeze your glutes, straighten your legs, and hover them just a few inches off the ground. Reach your arms back past your ears. If your lower back peels off the floor even a single millimeter, stop immediately. You're just hanging on your joints. Let's build this without breaking you. Week 1. Keep your knees bent at 90 degrees. Lift your head slightly and hover your straight arms just off the floor, right alongside your body. I will say it again. Your lower back must remain completely glued to the floor the entire time. Hold for 3 sets of 15 seconds. Week 2. Extend just one leg straight out. Week 3. Go for full extension, aiming for 30 solid seconds. This structural corset is your absolute insurance policy for pain-free living. Now that your anterior core is fully armored and locked in, your spine is finally safe. And this is exactly where we need to reverse the damage on the back of your body. The wall sit. It's not about loading up a heavy barbell and grinding your remaining cartilage down to the bone. It's about building unbreakable quad and glute strength with absolutely zero impact. Leaning flat against a wall with your knees bent creates a massive surge of muscle fiber recruitment. It's not about how much you can squat in a gym. It's about making getting out of a chair or climbing steep stairs feel completely effortless again. Here's what most guys miss when their knees start aching after 50. They just stop training legs entirely, thinking rest will magically heal them. It's not your fault if traditional squats hurt. It's not weakness. It's patellar friction overload. Moving heavy loads through a degraded joint just creates chronic inflammation. But here is the secret to building raw leg power without moving the joint a single inch. Stand with your back flat against a sturdy wall. Walk your feet out and slide down until your thighs are exactly parallel to the floor. A perfect 90-degree angle. Press your entire back, from your tailbone to your shoulders, firmly into the drywall. Dig your heels into the floor like you're trying to push the earth away. You should feel an intense, burning activation in your thighs, but zero sharp pain in the kneecaps. Let's build this joint-friendly armor safely. Week 1. Don't force the 90 degrees. Slide down to a higher 45-degree angle and hold for 3 sets of 20 seconds. Week 2. Drop lower, aiming for 3 sets of 30 seconds. Week 3. Hit that perfect parallel mark. Your ultimate goal is a brutal, shaking 60-second hold. This zero-impact strength is what actually protects your knees from daily wear and tear. Now that your quads have a solid structural foundation, we need to unlock your tight hips and build total body balance. And that is exactly where the most famous Shaolin stance of all comes into play. Let's look at your foundation. If you want to forge unshakable lower body stability while simultaneously prying open stiff, aging hips, you need the horse stance. You aren't just standing wide to look like a martial arts extra. Sinking into this posture builds the structural control required to move with total confidence. It's not about passive gym flexibility, it's about bulletproofing your entire base. Here's what most guys miss when trying to fix tight hips after 50. They sit on the floor, yanking on cold muscles and hoping for the best. It's not your fault if those static stretches do absolutely nothing for you. It's not permanent joint stiffness, it's neurological lockup. Your brain literally clamps those muscles shut because it senses extreme pelvic instability. Here's the secret to forcing them open while building raw power. Step your feet about twice shoulder width apart, toes pointed slightly out. Sink your hips straight down, keeping your torso completely upright. Imagine sliding your spine down an invisible pole. Push your knees aggressively outward so they track directly over your toes. You should feel brutal, stabilizing tension in your glutes and inner thighs. Never let your knees cave inward. Let's build this safely. Week 1. Take a higher, comfortable stance, dropping only a quarter of the way down for 3 sets of 20 seconds. Week 2. Drop a few inches deeper, holding for 30 solid seconds. Week 3. Sink until your thighs are dead parallel to the floor. Fight for a 60-second hold. Rebuilding this lateral stability is exactly what prevents deadly falls as we age. Now that your lower half is fully anchored with zero impact strength, your body is finally ready to transfer that power upward. And this is where we forge indestructible shoulders without lifting a single dumbbell. Let's talk about your shoulders. By the time you hit 50, standard bench presses and endless push-ups usually do more harm than good. That is where the bottom push-up hold changes everything. By simply freezing your body right above the floor, you develop rock-solid upper body stability while protecting the rotator cuff. You aren't chasing a temporary chest pump here. You are forging permanent armor around your most vulnerable joints. But here's the problem most guys miss. When they feel that sharp, familiar shoulder pinch, they immediately assume their pressing days are over. Or worse, they try to stubbornly push through the pain. Moving heavy loads through compromised, repetitive ranges of motion literally shreds your tendons over time. Here is the exact way to build serious pressing power without grinding the joint. Get into a standard push and lower yourself down slowly until your chest is hovering just 1 or 2 inches above the ground. Now, freeze. Lock your elbows tight against your ribs. Do not let them flare out like a T-bone. Squeeze your lats hard and brace that abdominal corset we built earlier. You should feel a massive shaking activation across your chest and triceps, but absolutely zero sharp pain inside the joint capsule. Let's scale this so you don't tear anything. Week 1. Perform this hold on your knees or with your hands elevated on a sturdy bench for 3 sets of 15 seconds. Week 2. Move to the floor from your toes, holding strictly for 20 seconds. Week 3. Fight for a full, shaking 30-second hold. Mastering this static tension means you can finally push heavy doors or lift yourself up without wincing. Now that your shoulders are stable and pain-free, it's time to unlock the ultimate secret to full body density. And this final technique is exactly how you maximize raw strength without moving a single inch. Let's finish by tying your entire body together. If you want to connect your core, shoulders, and legs into one solid unit, you need the bear crawl hold. You aren't just getting down on all fours like a standard gym warm-up. By hovering your knees just an inch above the floor, you create a massive full-body tension net. It's not about crawling across the turf until you're exhausted. It's about building an unbreakable, primitive armor that locks your joints exactly where they belong. But here is the problem most guys face when trying to build full-body stability after 50. They jump right into complex dynamic movements like burpees or explosive loaded carries. Pushing your body through those fast, repetitive ranges of motion can simply leave you aching for days, derailing your progress entirely. Here is the exact way to build that raw, functional tension without the joint penalty. Get down on your hands and knees. Position your wrists directly under your shoulders, and your knees dead center under your hips. Brace your core exactly like we did in the hollow hold. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees precisely 1 inch off the floor. Freeze right there. Keep your back perfectly flat. If I put a glass of water on your lower back, it shouldn't spill. You will feel your quads, shoulders, and core light up instantly. Let's build this primitive strength safely. Week 1. Lift your knees and hold for 3 sets of 15 seconds. Week 2. Fight for 3 sets of 30 solid seconds, keeping that back completely flat. Week 3. Master the full hold for a brutal, shaking 60 seconds. Mastering this grounded tension means your entire body finally works as one solid, indestructible unit. Now that every major structure, from your core to your shoulders down to your legs, is rewired and armored, you have the physical foundation to truly live without limits. These 5 Shaolin holds are your exact blueprint to rebuilding indestructible joints and raw power after 50. Are you going to keep grinding away with exercises that break you down, or are you ready to finally move pain-free? Stop letting age be an excuse and start implementing just one of these holds today. If you want more no-nonsense strength protocols that actually work, hit subscribe and turn on notifications right now.